Now, so we are currently recording. So, yep. So I know a couple of you, but if you haven't figured it out, I'm Nick Wolf. I'm the professor for HR management. If you don't know my background, it is in executive search, recruiting, HR management, and senior management. I was a VP at one point with a large organization, and so my underlying background though, where my most of my skills come in, is on the recruiting side though. And so I did executive search for many years, C level uh, type candidates, and so negotiated salaries, stuff like that. And so that's my background. I've been with Point Loma now for 14 years. Actually, August will be my 14th year. I teach both in the undergrad, traditional undergrad, and uh, a the ADC programs as well as the MBA. I just finished wrapped up an MBA class that I was teaching. So if you're ever come to the MBA, I teach professional communications. And that's me. I'll just really quick if you could just and I'll read your intros as well. But Stephanie, really quick, your this is your first semester coming in
Uh,
here?
yeah, well, second semester. So I
Second
started,
semester.
yeah, second
Perfect.
semester. Yeah, I took a long break, so about 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, just getting back into it. Going for my bachelor's degree in business
Cool.
administration.
Awesome. And a manager at a credit union.
Yes. Mhm.
Perfect. And then Adriana, tell me a little bit about just really quickly your 20-second who you are, what you do.
Um, well, my name is Adriana.
Yeah.
I have my associates in business management.
Okay.
I I used to manage in manufacturers. I
Oh,
was like either played like the I would say office manager, but it really wasn't. It was more like an operations
okay.
management going on. I would oversee payroll, HR, hiring,
Awesome.
uh, right sizing, what they call it now, right?
Yeah. Well, no, that goes way back too. Right sizing still goes. That's not. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not new. It's a pretty term
It's
for yeah. So you were right sized.
there was right sizing. No, actually, I have a 15-year-old, and then I have a 3-year-old.
Oh,
So
awesome.
a big gap. I work for a government entity,
Okay.
and my schedule is 10 to 6 p.m. I'm so sorry, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through
Yeah.
Thursdays. That's why I text you partly late last night. I'm sorry.
No, and that's fine. Don't. Yeah, and we'll talk about that.
And then the reason why I want to go for my bachelor's is because I'm doing my bachelor's in public administration.
Okay.
Um, I find it very important in order for me to want to move up into the management
Cool.
because if you don't have a bachelor's, honestly, you can't grow. Like
Yeah.
you're stuck at the admin level, like
Totally.
executive secretary, admin,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. I don't see myself in doing that. I was not in that, but the benefits are great. So,
Yeah, I love it.
you
Yeah.
know, I like it. I like how you serve the community.
Cool.
You provide the customer service and the knowledge by knowing some of the business licensing and just stuff that the community could benefit from. So
Awesome.
that's one of the reasons I'm going back. Plus, I'm trying to prove my 15-year-old that you need an education early on.
I love it.
Um,
I love it.
I'm 40 years old,
Yeah, I love it.
going back,
Yeah, good.
and I think it's very important to teach them young if we have the opportunity.
Yeah.
To My husband has his degree, so he's a.
Mm.
It's ironic. He said actually in HR, he's
Oh, it's funny.
director,
He may
SPHR,
contradict a
and all
lot of
that
the
stuff.
stuff I say then.
Yeah.
No, I'm
So
joking. He could teach the class.
yeah, I was like, hey babe, you need to help me here real quick. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Mariana could teach the class too, I bet.
I heard. So,
Yeah.
we could be sending you a message here and there when we
I love
do
it.
our review on our Fortune 500 companies. So
Yeah.
it's good to know.
I love it. And then
Yeah.
great. I'm glad you're here, Adriana.
Thank
I have a
you.
16-year-old, so I get you. I know exactly where you're
Uh,
coming from. Uh, and then Mariana is HR at Roadrunner.
Yeah, so it's my third semester now at PLNU, second go around for my bachelor's. I did go to a 4 year right out of high school, but you make plans and God laughs. So
Yep.
here we
Yep.
are again. So third semester, currently an HR coordinator at Roadrunner Sports. Like you, Nick, I actually got my start in recruiting with them, so did that for 4 years, and I've been an HR coordinator since December, so still very new to the role. So
Yeah.
if I can't answer your question, I will defer you to
Ah.
Nick.
Or you can just email, you can text me at, I don't care what time. We'll talk about that. Awesome. Marianne, so glad you're here. Mariano.
Yes, hello. So I'm like, this is, I'll be finishing my third year in Point Loma, so I'm just
Yeah,
doing
cool.
summer work. And then just to catch up, because I was a transfer to Point
Yeah,
Loma, so that like got me a little behind in some credits.
it's okay.
But then I saw these classes were available in the summer, so I'm like, oh, like, why not? To like, I know what's the professors and still like in PLNU, so I was
Yeah.
like fully committed, and my degree is in business management.
Awesome. Awesome. And then Fatima, are you there? Can you hear? Hey,
Oh, hi.
hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Just a quick introduction. So you're what semester are you in, or what year are you in your time here with us?
I am currently in my, I want to say, junior year.
Okay, awesome. Cool. Awesome. And then do you currently work?
I work part-time, yes.
Perfect. Doing what?
Um, Retail.
Awesome. Where at?
Best Buy.
Awesome. I love Best Buy. Cool. Awesome. I love it. Yeah, I kind of can be kind of nosy. Context is one of my highest is one of my key strengths. I always like dig deeper at like what do you do? Where do you do it? How do you like, So if it gets annoying, just tell me to shut up. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna just basically I'll go through the syllabus really quickly. I do that kind of with the in that intro video. Again, mainly I'm here to answer questions for you, but I do want to let you know a couple of times. Adriana had reached out to me, texted me about a question. Folks, I am here at your disposal. Now, I know, again, this is an asynchronous class, and most professors at most universities, when it comes to asynchronous, they are like, I gave you all the videos, I gave you all the information, don't bother me. I'll grade your papers, and that's about it. That's just not who I am. I love teaching this class in person. I'd prefer to teach it in person. Either way, I want to be here for you. So if you text me at midnight, I'm probably going to be up. Gotta be honest with you. And if I'm not up, I'll answer you first thing in the morning at 5 a.m. when I get up. And so don't feel like you're ever bothering me. This is what I'm here for. I'm here to answer any questions I could possibly ask. I'd prefer that you actually either text me or email me. Don't go through Canvas. It gets kind of lost, the Canvas messaging. Um, if that's the way you prefer, though, I would absolutely respond. But if it's urgent, send me a text, send me an email. Okay, send me a text, send me an email. Everybody can see this syllabus, right? Everybody can see the screen. Can you see the syllabus? Are we good? No?
I can only
I just see
see,
like the Canvas at canvas.pointloma.edu.
yeah, just the
Okay.
Same.
bar.
So
It's like the header.
do you see
Yeah, we
that?
just see the search bar.
You
No,
just
we
see
just see the
okay.
search bar with the tabs.
So
Yeah.
really quick, yeah. So this is weird. Sometimes it does this on me. So I'm gonna reshare and I'm gonna go to uh can you see that now? Still
It's
just
the
the bar?
same.
Okay, perfect. No,
Yeah.
no, give me a second here. I've got like 20. Um, how about now?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
okay, we're good. Perfect. So let me jump into the syllabus really quick. Obviously, I'm gonna skip through most of this stuff here. Asynchronous online. Here's my cell phone number, 949-294-1529. Again, call me, text me, doesn't matter. You can email me. If you want to set up a time to meet with me, we can do office hours. Actually, there are no office hours. If you want to meet with me at whatever, it says Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 8:30 to 2:30. Yeah, my office hours are whenever you need me. So if you need help with something, you just text me and I'll arrange a time that works best for you to jump on a Zoom. Okay. because for some of you, you may not know this. I think Mariana and Mariano know this. You're also your dedicated career coach. So if you want to talk career stuff, you want to talk about resume stuff, you want to talk about LinkedIn stuff, you want to prep for an interview, you're not sure what you want to do for the rest of your life, uh, let's have a meeting. Let's talk about that, right? So I am the dedicated career coach for the Fermanian School of Business. So if you need help with anything career-wise, I'm your guy, okay? So, so yeah, you can just email me, go, Nick, can we jump on a Zoom? We'll jump on a Zoom, okay? And then I'll arrange it around your time, but we don't need to talk about that or that. These are the two textbooks. So if you need the textbooks, you do need the textbooks. But here they are. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them. So Fundamentals of Human Resource Management, 7th edition. If you can't get the 7th edition, then the 6th edition works. So it hasn't changed that much. And then, so this is the textbook. On Fire at Work is an amazing book. It's like if you've taken, or if you're, this could be a sore subject for some of you, for the internship class, you have to read this book called Pivot by Jenny Blake. And no, I'm sorry, I called it an internship class, Mariana. It's a practicum class. Oh my gosh, you didn't catch me. Come on now. And you too, Mariana. It's a practicum class. But for that class, you have to read a book called Pivot by Jenny Blake. Amazing book. This is too an amazing book. On Fire at Work. Um, so yeah, so this is a great book. It references at the very beginning. It references a movie called Glengarry Glen Ross, and it talks about Cadillacs versus steak knives, right? How do we reward people? And so, how do we acknowledge people and how do we reward people? And it's a very old school movie about sales, and it's just a great example of what a bad culture looks like. And so, it'll reference Sarah if you're interested in watching the movie. It's a great movie. It's a little on uh, the foul language side. I'm just throwing that out there. So just be aware of that. I gotta preface that. But anyway, great movie. Al Pacino, Kevin Spacey. Yeah, just a great movie. Anyway, here are the midterm. So you have a midterm. It's open book, open note. Uh, it's done on Canvas. So you just go in and do the Canvas. It's not timed or anything. So you're all adults. So I trust you that you're gonna do what you. I don't have it on honor lock or anything like that. Okay. Again, it's open note, open book. So, but it covers the first 4 chapters, I believe, of fundamentals of HR management, not on fire. On fire is the supplemental. So the midterm is based on the textbook. Okay. You have a final project worth 200 points, reflection papers, discussion posts, which are the bulk of the class, which I will be monitoring, and then a couple of project checkpoints, just to make sure. I like to chunk things, so I'm going to exert my will on you and make you chunk things too. So it's just a good practice when you've got a big project to just kind of do little pieces at a time. And so that's what these project checkpoints are about. Total 1,000 points. I'm anticipating everybody's going to get no less than a B plus. So it's a good class. The flow is pretty easy. The big thing is you just need to stay on top of the uh, sorry, the online discussion posts. So you'll see those here in a second. So here's all this stuff. I'll let you read through that. I want to get right to kind of the schedule. So this week, read the syllabus. There's the one question, when did human resources begin and why? Here's week 1 discussion. Here you're going to have checkpoint 1 already coming up, and I'll show you what that looks like. So here's the weekly schedules. In week 2, you're going to read. It's basically 2 chapters per week. Because it's condensed, normally I only cover 1 chapter per week, but because it's a condensed 8-week class, it's 2 chapters per week. So there's a bit of reading. Okay. Now, if it were me, and actually it is what I did, I don't particularly care to read. I like to listen. That's how I'm an auditory learner, right? And so when I think about when I think about all the different learning modalities, whether it's tactile or whether it's, if it's reading, it's auditory, it's, experiential. I love to listen. So what I did for On Fire, I got the audiobook. It was free. My wife reads a lot through Audible, so I got an Audible free. I listened to it on the way to work, on the way back from work. Instead of listening to the radio or listening, I just listened to it, and it worked out really well. And it actually, it's a very practical book, and so it works well in Audible. So if you want to do that instead of reading it, I would do that. Okay. So again, it's 2 chapters per week. There's no final exam. In week 8. The final is you turn in your video project, your presentation in video form, and I'll show you what that looks like. But yeah, you can read through the syllabus. It's pretty basic, pretty standard stuff. Here's all the topics we're going to cover in each week, and then here's all the chapters. HR Text is the HR management textbook. On Fire is the On Fire book. You also have 3 reflections that you're going to write. They're super simple, and I'll show you what those look like. Okay. Any questions on the syllabus? I love it. Okay, let's jump to the actual assignments. Let me close this out and jump to the assignments. So I'll just give you an example of so the introductions, like here's one, here's week 2. There's each week there's going to be a discussion 1, discussion 2. Every week there's going to be 2 discussions. And they're due, like the first one's due May 18th. The second one's due May 20th. So I'll open this up so you can take a look and see what that looks like. And so the background, discussion 1 on business culture, the background for this is HR chapter 1 and corporate culture. You're going to want to watch this video. So I incorporated some videos in there too, so you don't have to all read all the time. So you can watch some videos. And so this is due on Monday. And it's create an initial post that addresses the following topics. How would you define business culture? Short and sweet. How would you define your employer's culture? So what is your culture like? If you work. If you don't work, then I would say, what would describe a culture that you'd like to work in? Okay. So, and then how does culture become bad? What can you do to fix bad culture? So these are the 3 questions, okay? Super simple. It's 300 to 400 words, so not a lot, right? It's super short, maybe a quarter of a page. Okay, so I'm going to change this. I'm going to send this out anyway. I think 200 to 300 words, right? So something short. I'm not looking for a library, and neither are your classmates. Make it short. So you can write right through. Yeah, come in. Okay, that was my son knocking on the door. Are they winning? Okay, they're watching. We're Spurs fans. Sorry, he's watching the Spurs game. So okay. And then what you need to do is respond to at least one of your peers. And then how does their employee culture compare to yours? Do you see areas? So I'm giving you everything you need to write. You can also, instead of writing it, you can also record. You can, and here's the instructions on how to record. You can just record a video going, hey, here's what I think, right? I thought that was a great post. However, so you have to write your post, the initial post, but for the response, you just go, hey, I think that was great. My employer, our culture is really employee focused. We really stress, like, take care of the employee. The employee takes care of the customer type of mentality. And so just do that. Make it a 1 minute, 90-second, right? Something quick. So if you choose not to write or type, you can record. Okay. And every single one of them looks like that. And there's 2 a week. Any questions on this? We good?
Does it have to be a video, or can it be like just voice?
Oh
Like
yeah. Yeah, sure. Why not? Sure. Why not? That's fine. You'll find I am amiable to just about anything. We're good. Yeah, we can do that,
Okay.
Adriana. That's fine. Just yeah, if you want to record on your voice,
We're
you just have
camera
to make
shy
sure
here.
that so you would have to blank out the video portion, but I would still look at the recording videos in Canvas. Cool.
Okay.
Or yeah, or you can do it on
Thank you.
Zoom, or you can do it on your phone and then upload it to. If you do it on your phone, you'd have to upload it to YouTube, and then from YouTube you'd go to you'd upload the link to Canvas. Or Canvas has a recording platform. So, but yeah, so you could just use your voice. That's fine too. Questions? Okay. So those are the posts. There's 2 a week. It's easy to get behind on them. So just keep up on them. Make that as part of your habit. Put it in a calendar, whatever you got to do. And so that's that. The checkpoints. Okay, first checkpoint is due May 18th. That's this Friday or next Friday. Oh, no, sorry. It's due May 22nd. It's in week 2. May 22nd, checkpoint 1. Here's what you have to do. This is your first of several checkpoints to keep us on track. As part of your final project, you will work on as an HR consultant for a large Fortune company. For this week, you will need to choose the company, analyze the company's mission and vision statements, link these to talent attraction, development, and retention. So again, if I'm doing Costco, anybody know what Costco's mission is? Right off the top of your head. What's Roadrunner Sports' mission statement?
There's not a mission statement, but we have 6 pillars.
Okay, give me one of the pillars.
Be different.
Be really quick. Perfect, Mariana. Thank you. Be different. So, how does being different link to talent attraction? Well, if I'm looking to bring talent in, or if I'm somebody looking for a job, I look at that and I'm like, that's really interesting, right? That's a really interesting pillar. Like, what does be different mean? Okay. So, how does that relate to development? Well, a lot of companies just once a year you do your performance plan, you blah, 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 you get your 2% increase, blah, 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 and you're done. Being different maybe means no, we do something a little bit different. One, we do weekly check-ins, we have great training programs, not just on the mental side, but on the physical side. We do runs every week, right? That's different than most companies do, right? So that's being different. And then in terms of retention strategies, what does Roadrunner Sports do different to keep their employees? So that would be an example of how you would analyze. If I'm thinking Whole Foods is, you know what Whole Foods mission statement is? I do, because it's my favorite company. To nourish people and planet. Nourish people and planet, right? That's Whole Foods mission statement. And it goes way back. Okay? What that means for their talent attraction, if I'm thinking of somebody who's aligned with that mission, if I care about the environment, if I care about people's health, I'm going to go there. Probably going to go there. If I'm thinking about how they develop, they're always looking to nourishment to John Mackey is not just about body, like it's about mind nourishment, right? And so for him, it was all about getting people to the next level, getting people to think differently, getting people to be smart, right? To be smart about the things that they do, and then retention strategy. So that's how that should look. And then research current HR initiatives tied to the mission of issue and vision. Is there something that they're doing right now that's tied to their mission and vision? And if you, for some reason, can't find anything, that's okay too. You're going to submit this in a slide deck, 1 to 2 slides, and then not a 1 page, like a half page to 1 page, but half page executive summary. Okay, so that's checkpoint 1. And so each week, I'll go to checkpoint 4. In checkpoint 4, it's compensation and benefits. Analyze salary ranges, bonus structures, and benefits and perks for this company. Benchmark against industry peers. So if we're talking about Ford, what does Ford pay their mechanics? What does Chevy pay their mechanics? And so you want to benchmark those. Are they the same? Are they really, is there a big discrepancy? And then include data on gender pay equity. That's a big one for me. Gender pay equity. Women get paid 88 cents on the dollar. And it's been that way for forever. And still 88 cents on the dollar. So I want to know about gender pay equity. What are some incentives? What are some incentives? What are some wellness programs that this company includes? Okay, so this week 4 is all about compensation and benefits. Is this a benefit package that's going to keep people there? Okay, it's all about the retentions. This is all about retention. The class is broken into 3 parts. What are the 3 functions of HR? What are the 3 functions of HR? Hire, develop, and retain. Hire, develop, and retain top talent, right? Now, you may not be thinking about going into HR, but every manager, what is every manager's 3 key responsibilities? Develop, when it comes to people, develop, hire, and retain. So even if you're not going into HR, this definitely crosses over to just good management practices. Okay. And so again, you'll see in a lot of these lectures, I'm going to talk about, hey, it's not just HR's responsibility to do these 3 things. It's management's responsibility as well, and sometimes even more. So that's checkpoint 4. The last checkpoint is this one. The last checkpoint is checkpoint 6. And this is the last checkpoint. As part of the final project, you will work as an HR consultant, blah, blah. First this week, you will review and submit your final presentation. Ensure slides are formatted well and follow effective slide management. Let me show you the actual assignment, though, just in case you have any questions. So those are the checkpoints. Every week, you're going to have to turn something in. And that way, at the end of the semester, at the end of the 8 weeks, you're done. You don't have to like scramble to get it done. It's going to be done. Now, how many of you use Canva Pro or some other form of AI to build your slide decks? Don't build your own slide decks. Go out and use Canva Pro or some sort of other Canva to build. You don't have to have Canva Pro, but Canva has a great slide deck. Use Canva to do that. What I want you to do is I want you to go out and do all the research. Right? There's ways that you use AI, right? Effectively. Don't have AI do this for you. Go out, you do the research, have AI put some of this together, and then have AI come in and create these slides, right? It's a tool like any other tool, right? If I asked you to do net present value, I wouldn't say go do it on paper. I'd say go to Excel and show me the net present value of this specific, right, product or this specific asset that we just purchased. Right? You're going to use Excel. You're going to use Tableau, all these tools. So use AI effectively. Use it in a smart way. Okay. Here are the 3 reflections. Let me give you an example of one. Employee goals. You're going to write this. You're a manager, right? You're managing an employee who's not meeting their goals. The employee is late and absent on times. What are the top 3 goals for your employee? And I need it 300 to 400 words. Read it, answer the questions in a cohesive, not bulleted, write me 300 to 400 words in a paragraph, 12-point font, APA format. Okay? I don't need references or anything like that. It's a reflection. This is your thought, right? This is what you're thinking. Okay? So there's 3 reflections. Super easy. Let's keep going here. Any questions so far? Cool. Okay. Checkpoint. Final consulting project. There's the 3 reflections. One's doing week 3, one's doing week 6, one's doing week 7. And there's your midterm. Don't do the midterm yet. Wait till midterm. Okay. I think it's open. I might close it until the time it comes, but whatever. You open it, you work at your own pace. Here's the consulting project. This is what my expectations are. Right? You're an HR consultant for a Fortune company. Here's all the weekly schedules. Checkpoint 3, 6, 7. When you get to 8, I want you to deliverable a presentation and report. I want a 10-minute maximum presentation. I want you to give me the mission vision of the company. How does the company recruit, develop, and retain their employees? I want you to give recommendations. So if a company only uses the newspaper to recruit people, one recommendation is going to be like, hello, there's this thing called the internet, right? The internet. I was recruiting when we had to use the newspaper and people faxed. When I found a job, folks, I stood in line with all the other students and faxed my resume to jobs posted on the news in the newspaper. That's how we got jobs back in the day. And so if they're still doing that, make a recommendation. So there's a written report. It's a one-page executive summary. That's the written report, a one-page executive summary. Give me everything kind of a nutshell. But then I want a presentation. You've already got the slides pretty much done. I want you to bring it together cohesively. And then you're going to put together a 10-minute presentation. How do they recruit, develop, and retain? I'm going to email you all an amazing example that I had from last year. Okay, the slide deck. And so use that. I'll email that to everybody. Use that as a guide. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to videotape yourself doing that. What I would probably do is I would probably do it via Zoom. Go into Zoom, do share screen, go to your PowerPoint or Canva, whatever you're using, click record it, upload that into YouTube, take that YouTube link, dump it into the Canvas assignment, this assignment right here, and that's it. And then you're going to add your one-page executive summary as well. Questions on this? Okay, awesome. So those are the assignments, folks. It's nothing, and even really quick, I'll show you just so you have it. I am going to change. I'm going to open it. I'm going to make it available the fourth week. Sorry. But like here, like preview the quiz. Here's an example of the quiz. It's 50 questions. Here's what is one reason for creating high performance work systems? And there's some choices here, right? There's some scenario ones. The process of collecting information and providing feedback to employees about their behavior, communication style, or skills is known as what's the
Consulting?
counseling? Oh, it's counseling.
Counseling?
Counseling. Counseling.
Counseling.
Oops.
Right? Sorry, counseling. But yeah, right? I would call it performance plan personally, but that's what the book calls it. So it's not a hard test. It's not a hard test. 50 questions. Covers chapters 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Okay. Do you want me to cover anything else in the Canvas class? If you are having trouble, this is for everybody, even if you chose not to show up today. I'm going to give you this little nugget anyway. It is optional. This was optional. If you're having trouble keeping up with the work, shoot me an email. Text me. Hey, Nick, I've got a 3-year-old and a 15-year-old. Hey, Nick, I work. Hey, Nick, I got I'm much more accommodating for my ADC students, for my adult degree completion students, because you are all doing stuff, right? You got a lot of life going on. And so if you need an extension on something, or you just need to help with something, or you just don't not do the work, just tell me, and then you'll catch up. You'll catch up, right? So I'm grading every week. Every Sunday night, I will go through and grade. So you'll always have your grades. If you get a 0 on assignment, it's not the end of it's not the end. It's, hey, Nick, I didn't have time to do that. Now I'm not gonna, I have to have my grades in at a certain time, so I can't give you too much. But if it's like, hey, Nick, I didn't get that in. Oh, okay, I'll open the assignment back up. Are we clear on that? So don't just go, well, I got a 0. Life happens every day. And so know that. Okay. So I try and be flexible as much as I possibly can. Cool. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing. Questions? Any questions?
Just one.
Yeah, Mariano.
For the books, you said they can both be like digital books. They don't have to be a hard copy.
Oh
Or
yeah, you don't need to get nah, as long as you don't mind. I couldn't read digital, man. It would kill me. But if you're okay reading them, reading the digital, you can't get the HR management one. I don't believe you can get it on Audible. The On Fire you can get on Audible. For sure, I would do
okay.
that one. And if you want the other one digital, yeah, dude, you can get it in digital, not a problem.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you don't need to have it in front of you unless that however you learn, you learn. Whatever works for you.
Sounds good.
Cool. Good
Thank
question.
you.
Yeah. Anything else?
So the book that's on the Point Loma bookstore is the one that matched your video introduction that you have there, right? Because I know I was asking you about that last
Yeah,
night, and it
it's
looks
yeah,
like
the
a
HR,
different
yeah,
cover.
it's the HR management book. The cover's the same. I was a little
Which
confused.
just had, it had a circle. It had a
Oh, yeah,
circle.
that's fine. Yes, but the one you sent me is this one. If I still have the text you sent me. The one you sent me is here. Yeah, this one right,
Yeah, the circle.
that one right there. The one with the little circle on it. That's the HR textbook.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the other On Fire one, it's like $5 on Amazon.
Okay.
Or you can do Audible. Again, if you want to get on Audible, I think it's 1 credit. If you use Audible, you probably have credit, so it'd be free.
Okay.
Cool. Any other questions? Okie dokie. Okay, if you do have any going forward, you know where to reach me. You got my cell phone number, you got my email address. If you want to use Canvas, use Canvas. I'm going to stop recording now. Stop recording.